Hi guys, welcome to my system here. It's indeed EndeavourOS. The ArcoLinux project, right, is going to be 5 years in September. And if you are that long working on Arch Linux based system, you come to realize that everything is exactly the same thing. It's all Arch Linux. It has a kernel, you make some choices, you make some applications, but in the end, basically, you have more that's the same, that's similar, that's exactly the same, rather than differences, right? So I've always said Linux is Linux, whatever it is. It's all about the Linux kernel, starting with Linus Torvalds and so on, Plasma theme, the XFC theme, etc. So down the line, it's always about choices, how to package things and all that, and how to configure things. So after 5 years working on ArcoLinux, right, about how to create 41 ISOs of ArcoLinux, how to create not 41 of ArcoLinux, 41 as a whole, as an ArcoLinux project, because Carli is part of the ArcoLinux project. So that's another way of installing Arch Linux basically, with some design and some configurations, but basically, right, again, Carli is just Arch, ArcoLinux is just Arch. Carli uses Calamares. ALCI is another project where you can build any on any Arch Linux based system, you can build an Arch Linux with Calamares. And the latest project, and also the latest website, ariser.eu, so a name change. It used to be the AA ISO. You can see it here, Ariser, previously AA, and that's the new website. So it's a separate project. The idea here is Arch Linux, again, with Alice, but we're not going to use Calamares. So if you're an ISO builder, and I know many of you guys want to build ISOs, you go check the guide. So the ISO Builder Guide, comprehensive guide to ISO building. And all these websites match, flow into each other, where we even install very different kernel. These are all from Arch Linux, but this one isn't. So it's choices all around. And the topic of the video, or the idea of the video, is, and I've been saying that all along in many videos, stop thinking in boxes. Anything Arch Linux based, as long as it works for you, is great. Don't choose ArcoLinux because of, or don't choose Garudo or Chaos, etc., etc. But think, fly up into the sky, look down and say, basically, it's Arch Linux. And that's what this video is about. I'll show you that, by the way, this machine here, this is not the standard EndeavourOS. It has been changed. I've been using, before I started with this project, Linux Mint. It was never the standard default Linux Mint. You change the operating system the way you see fit. So did I do this with EndeavourOS, and I'll just show you what I have already set up. So here we have EOS. ALCI is the project, but it's already installed, so we can first do that. So you boot up with an Arch Linux ISO, fine. Then you change your grub image, a nice little image there. I have installed the Xenmod Edge. I could have done the Linux LTS or the Zen or the Harn or anything like it, but I did that. And then you have this look. You'll notice that it's very, very, very similar as the other one, because it's just Arch. And now it comes on all these guys. I've done the following: Ctrl-Alt-T. I have this script, get nemesis on ALCI, which basically is going to make a directory, get ArcoLinux nemesis, and now the fun starts. Use this one as a template and change whatever you like in these codes, these scripts, or not, right? Run or do not run. I always run this one, current choices, and all you need to do in here is basically say, I'm not going to run 100, not 110, 120, so a hashtag in front of it. That's all you need to do, a hashtag in front of it, and you can keep everything as is. This governs the launching of all the scripts. So don't want that, that's fine. And the magic is at the end. If you're ALCI, do this and this and that. If you're an Ariser, do this. If you're on ArcoLinux, do that. If you're on the Carli ISO, do that. If you're on ArcoLinux ISO, do that. If you're on EndeavourOS, do this. And it can go and it will go on, like I could make a Garuda, for example, or a Arch Labs, etc., etc. All the Arch Linux based systems can be changed. And it starts often with removing stuff. Sometimes you say, oh my God, I don't want this application, don't want that application. And that's basically what it says here. If you're on Carli, then you remove this, remove that. And if you are on Ariser, you remove this and this and that. If you're on ArcoLinux, get rid of all that. If you're on EOS, then EndeavourOS, then you remove this and that, etc. ALCI, go get rid of all that. So it's a way of staying independent of any distro out there, as long as you're able to install Arch Linux on your hardware and you're happy with it, everything works, Bluetooth, printers, you know the thing, internet, wireless, everything is working fine, then this comes in. Then you make scripts and you run these scripts. And I'll show you with ALCI, right? So this is my ALCI setup after running the scripts. This is my Ariser setup. Arch Linux, that's what we start with. And a nice little image as grub. Just a choice, just a copy paste from a file to a file and done. And we're now on Ariser. Made some other choices as icons. And off we go, right? Why? Because it's just, you got it, Arch Linux. Carli, boot up. In Carli we've made a nice little grub, a personal grub, but basically it's Arch, right? We ran our scripts, and what do we get? The same thing, Carli, just applications that you want. And I'll show you with EndeavourOS. EndeavourOS is just installed, offline installation. Right, boot existing OS. And I'll run the scripts so you see what happens. And that's the message, right? Don't get stuck in a place, in a distro. Arch Linux, okay, right? But think out of the box. There is more than a distro. There are scripts afterwards. So this is the exact URL. Eric Dubois is enough, because then you find ArcoLinux Nemesis. You're going to copy paste this one here, and then you're gonna open it up. All you need to remember is git clone and then Ctrl-Shift-V. It's in. Go and have a look. Here it is. And then all you need to do is run 0. But like I said, uses that as a template. And then you go and decide what you want to keep, what you want to install extra, just like I did here. And add repos. This is the Nemesis repo. So the system has now, well, update does not exist yet, so our bash RC will be coming into place. Our ZSH RC will come into place. Our fish will come into place. Everything will be the way we want it on ArcoLinux. So you can change anything you like. Let's wait for things to install, and just keep an eye out for things that are red, which means there's a conflict or something, and then you know, maybe I should change this, change that. But first, I remember, first we start with the remove, because we want to avoid conflicts. So if you're on EOS, this will be clashing with our etc scal. So bash.rc is gone, remove it, and then we can do all kinds of things later on. Remove this, remove that, don't want this, don't want that. I'll replace it with my own vision of XFCE. This is not the way I like it, so fine. And if you have your own idea about how XFCE has to look, save the file, overwrite the file, done. That's basically a script, right? Do this, do that, remove this, sudo pacman -r, install this sudo pacman -s, and then the rest, some important files that you overwrite. Like the grub thing or something like that. So there's a bunch of stuff. The super shift enter, these things, F12, the Control T, there are things I'll be missing in my keyboard shortcuts. So all the keyboard shortcuts from ArcoLinux will be back into place. Left WM will be there if I want it, etc, etc, etc. The combo I'm going for today is XFC plus left WM, then I will be happy. You see, in everything, if it's already available, NeoFetch was there, EndeavourOS had it already, Network Manager Applet was there already, and stuff like that. It just skips it, which is fine, but Nomax was not there. I love the little application to edit images for the websites. Oh my ZSH kit, all the stuff you want, you put it in scripts. You don't want it, put the hashtag in front of it. That's it. And then you can keep following my GitHub. So within a month later, you do this, open terminal here, and you say git pull. And you see, oh, hit this, and then you see lots of lines coming in and something changed. And later on, when we reboot, we have our own XFCE, and you can open it with git ahead or git find or anything like that open with. And then, or compare melt will be installed. So basically the right mouse click that we have, right? This is EndeavourOS, but it's not open terminal, create symlink, search with catfish, compare is here, and open with git ahead is here. So yes, it's all there. Data, ArcoLinux Nemesis, right mouse click, up, go and have a look. What did I do? I changed this, I changed that. Before that I did this, and then I did that, I did this. Basically can follow up what I change. But it's our XFCE with our, well, right mouse click, or how do they call it again? There's a name in it for it. Here is something unresolvable. So I guess we'll have to do something about the pipewire. So by default, pipewire pulse is the default. We'll just keep it for now. Something is conflicting here. Pipewire pulse. So it's a decision, a choice, either to choose pulse audio or pipewire, which is actually, again, quite easy. AOR, pulse audio, install pulse audio, and install pipewire, right? Choose this one or choose this one. Simple, just run it. And there's an updater, fine. So everything is kept, all the application from EOS, they're still there. Let's go in here. So it is a process, right? Keeping your scripts up to date, it's a process, and it's a fun process. It's a learning process. You get to know the other system. Sudo reboot. Later on, I'll type SR. So now I have an EndeavourOS, which is no longer an EndeavourOS, because it has the wallpapers from ArcoLinux. It does have a beautiful logo from EndeavourOS. I keep it as is. I could change that too, would be not correct at all. So no, the logo is nice, it's there, it's correct. But basically, I've changed it. Updates, up8 even, all the typos, they all work. Up all works, and so on and so on. EndeavourOS, there are, well, there are several mirrors now. Have a look. There is EndeavourOS, there is Nemesis repo, and the ArcoLinux repo. So we have both of them, both of us have the same files for applications. So yes, 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 you say, and done. Now we have to update the system. Linux firmware is coming in. But basically, guys, like I said, did not remove anything EOS related. That's why you see these colorful things here, right? But ArcoLinux better lock screen is here. The tweak tool is there. And I'm thinking of making it an Arch Linux tweak tool, because basically anyone can use it. Well, not anyone, but as it happens, Alci, Carli, and EndeavourOS can use it. So it's fun. It's fun breaking your chains, freeing yourself from the chain of a distro, right? It's just all Arch. And that's the only thing, and the only message I want to convey with this video is that if you have this ArcoLinux Nemesis script around, your personal look at things, feel of things, you have a template. What matters? What files are important? What should I change? That's all written into the scripts. Voila, Ctrl-Alt-T, it's there. Super Enter, it's there. Ctrl-Alt-Enter, it's there. So all the keyboard shortcuts that we like and love, F12, it's there. Super F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, 6. They all launch unless I have not installed it. Then I will give an error and that's it. So melt is there, VLC is there. Yep, save, strengths, new document. And here's the one that's not installed, which is called Atom. Yes, we did not do that by default for a reason. Let's see if the reason, that's the reason, right? So I said, okay, never mind, we'll install code or something. Or often, you know, I use Sublime Text. There is code, there is VS Code, I believe. So there are so many editors. VS Codium bin, that's the word. And they're coming from us, right? ArcoLinux repo extra large. I know, I am on EndeavourOS. I've added these repos. The only thing I ask, guys, if you're using our repos and not donating, well, don't use SeatHost, because SeatHost is paid and we have to pay for it. And if you don't donate but use it, right, it's really, you shouldn't. So everything is set as it should be. You don't have to do anything. It's an ArcoLinux tweak tool where we say the mirrors, SeatHost is not used, and all these guys are used, which is free, so that's no problem at all. But please don't use this one as it's paid. That's it for me. Hope that I made it clear that it doesn't matter with what you start, right? You can build on EndeavourOS. We're still on EndeavourOS. Let's have a look if I have to update. So you see EndeavourOS, Nemesis repo, ArcoLinux repo, voila, nothing to update. You can build ALCIs on EndeavourOS, a riser on LDS and EndeavourOS, and Carli 11, and of course ArcoLinux. But that goes without saying. Bottom line is choose, right, whatever ArcoLinux based system you want to have, and then learn from the YouTube ArcoLinux videos and ArcoLinux websites and articles. That's where you get the knowledge from. And then anything ArcoLinux based is up to you to explore and to learn from. And they have their own websites and forums, etc., etc. So you can really dive into how does an operating system work. And if you want to, right, you can even make your own ISO, your own distribution. All right, have fun, guys. Think out of the box. It's all ArcoLinux. You will be hearing that many times in videos. It's all ArcoLinux. Cheers.